I think it's very disempowering for the Aboriginal people, for the people who identify as Aboriginal, if their life revolves around their ethnicity. And let's not forget, Aboriginal people are the most disempowered group of people in this country. So be proud of what ancestry you may have, but I don't think life should revolve around one aspect of your being, because that only serves to separate you from others. You then have this us-them mentality, and that's not a good way to promote reconciliation. I personally identify as a part Aboriginal person, and that to me just simply acknowledges that I'm part Aboriginal and part non-Aboriginal, because I have an Aboriginal father and a non-Aboriginal mother, so I'm proud of all my ancestry. And I was told just in a discussion last night, you're one or the other. Well, I think, well, thank you very much for your opinion. I'll decide for myself how to identify. If we view everything through the prism of you're Indigenous, you're not, okay, you're Indigenous, we'll give you this treatment, this service, this benefit. That's not a very good way, not an effective way to deal with problems. It should be, okay, you have this particular problem, let's deal with that problem. Coming back to health statistics and that sort of thing, if you have a group of people and they're all called Aboriginal, and you have a lot of those people that are, say, like me, who live in the city, have access to health services and all sorts of other services which we just take for granted. So you have people like that. And then you have people who don't have their basic needs met, don't have access to a health service, go hungry, don't have a good income, live in poor living conditions, that sort of thing. When you take the average, people like me lift up the average. So you tend to mask disadvantage. And, you know, the whole issue of self-identification is a problem, you know. The analogy I've used before, I think I may have told you, if, say, the government had an incentive where they were going to, like a stimulus package for the poor people, you know, they're going to give them a one-off $1,000 check if you're poor. Would we be comfortable with saying, well, the poor, they can decide for themselves if they're poor? I think you'd have everyone in the city saying, yeah, I'm poor. I'm on $200,000 a year, but in my heart I'm poor. Can you give me that check, please?